Tea Dump! This week it's officially fall and that's the season of teeth. I'm a tooth, specifically a molar. Joining me this week is Wisdom.
I cause headaches. Or not. My asshole niche varies from person to person.
And a doctor.
Golden teeth and golden tones! Welcome to my presence!
Firefighters in Rhode Island spent 2.5 hours trying to free a man whose head had been caught between two rocks. Eventually, they got him out with some olive oil.
This is like a different version of 127 hours, except for foodies.
What the hell kind of EMT was this? Using olive oil to loosen his head? Did they put him in balsamic vinegar afterwards to sterilize the wounds?
Well, the man's head did become stuck between the rocks when he bent over to retrieve a cell phone he had dropped. So, there are a lot of shiny pennies in this story.
What would make a man catch his head between rocks trying to retrieve his cell phone? Naked pictures of ladies? Winning lotto numbers? The world's only recorded case of a ditto?
Or the naked ditto holding winning lottery numbers.
Laugh as we may at this ridiculous predicament, because it is pretty funny that somebody got their head stuck between rocks. It was actually high tension because he was on a beach and the tide was coming in.
Oh, if it was the beach, then you definitely don't want to use the olive oil. That's too good. Plenty of seagull shit all around to lube up his head.
This week's hero is a shop owner from Hull, England, named Karimjit Sangha, who told an armed robber he would have to wait because she was having a cup of tea.
Even after its demise, from one end of the empire to the other, when tea time happens, the British Empire shuts down. They do not mess around.
I think the only thing that could have been more impressive in this scenario is if she asked him to go get more sugar, and then he did it.
While that might seem like the right thing to do, Ben, that just shows how lower class we really are. The appropriate thing to do in that sort of situation is to pull a cucumber sandwich out of your sack with a pound sign on it.
I think the only way this could be more hardcore was if the proprietress of Sangha News and Booze, which is what her store is called, by the way, had reacted to having a 7-inch knife pulled on her by telling the robber she was having a cup of tea and then waving her own craft knife at him. Oh, that's what happened, by the way.
What the hell, Britain?
Again, Ben, your incredulity only shows your lack of status. Of course she had a rather large knife. How else would you saber your champagne for the afternoon mimosas?
Okay, that attitude is exactly why the Purge movies were made. And apparently in Britain they've all got their knives all ready to go anyway.
Hey, the UK is currently figuring out how to get itself out of the European Union, so the Purge has already begun. Just the only thing they've purged has been David Cameron and Nigel Farage.
And Nigel Farage has clearly been in his share of knife fights.
Ian, that's just what Nigel Farage looks like.
It's not a big deal. Everybody wears masks in those movies anyways.
An Ottawa man is on trial for stealing over $180,000 worth of gold from the Canadian Mint by smuggling it out in his bum.
In what form? This is vitally important to his rectal health.
Only the most Canadian of forms, a 7.4-ounce gold puck.
I'm not sure what $184,000 converts to right now, but gold is heavy. That takes serious rectal control. I have a hard time keeping a 3-pound burrito up there.
After the burrito has passed through your mouth, esophagus, and digestive tract, right, Ian?
Sure, like humans do.
In reality, I'm just super glad they finally caught the Kegel bandit.
I don't think there's such a thing as an anal kegel. But I will look it up.
Way ahead of you, Kathleen. To do Kegels, you must locate your pelvic muscle by stopping the flow of urine, and that's a very different type of gold.
But wouldn't it have been more impressive if he went that route? I mean, name one instance where someone's checked a urethra for half a pound of gold.
I am sure there's a sounding fetish website for leprechauns somewhere.
Well, on that revolting mental image, it's time to call this episode to a close. But remember, there may be better sources of news, but they don't have this hat, which is a real Newfoundland Sewesta, which apparently to sound like a Newfie, Robin and Mitchell tell me to say Newfoundland with the same cadence and inflection as understand. I still don't think this works with my accent, but this will protect me from golden showers, gold or otherwise.
See, this is why the new no headphone jack thing on the iPhone 7 doesn't work. If you had headphones on there, you could just reel it back up.
Instead of having them painfully just yank out of your ear canal, causing blood to spew forth.
That episode of South Park was made up!